Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Nathan Quarless all the way from Liverpool. How are you doing, Nathan?
Yeah, not too bad. Well, I'm good to be honest. Last week of training, just sharpening up now, so feeling really good, and I'm feeling sharp as well.
How does it feel to have a big date in the diary, and does it really sort of pep up your preparations and all your work in the gym?
Yeah, I think so. It's given me like the extra motivation and stuff. Especially the platform that we're fighting on. It's made training a lot easier, and it's been a lot more enjoyable. Pushing myself to the limit really, and while enjoying training. So it's brought that side to it, and I'm just looking forward to taking my chance and running with it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really big chance for yourself for the English cruiserweight title live on Sky Sports as well. You've got to think that if you do a good job here, this could really be the start of something big for yourself.
Yeah, and that's ultimately what we've been looking for. We've had sort of big fights in the pipeline in the past, and for whatever reason, they've not happened. So we were calling for the Vidal fight early on this year. We didn't get it. He boxed Taj for the second time, and then we asked for it again, and we got it. So he brings the platform, he brings a big following, he brings a big YouTube base. So really, it couldn't have been a better fighter and opportunity for me to showcase my skills and go and do what I know I can do.
In your opinion, why don't you think it happened earlier in the year? Why do you think he took the fight against Taj over yourself?
I'm not sure. Maybe he needed another fight. Maybe Sky weren't interested in that point. Maybe he wanted to prove that he could beat Taj in a in a more winnable fashion than he did the time before. Because obviously it was stopped on a cut. I think the mistake they made was not fighting me early on in the year. I was coming back from a ruptured bicep that I did in the fight previous. And now I'm all healed. It's as strong as it ever was. So I'm 100% now. Early on in the year when we were calling for it, would have been 75%. So maybe you should have took the fight then, but it's happened now for the way things have happened. So I'm looking forward to do it. I'm getting in now and showing a lot of people who I am. As I think as small hall fighters, we don't get the recognition we deserve. We don't obviously get the viewers. So, I've got to prove a lot of people wrong because, people think that it's going to be an easy one-sided fight for Vidal. I know it's not going to be. So it's just about me going in there now and, boxing the way I know I can box and not letting the occasion or anything like that get to me.
You alluded to it there a little bit. Vidal's got a big following. I think most people are expecting Vidal to go in there and get the job done, and they're expecting a victory for Vidal Riley. But you're there to spoil the party, and you know differently.
Yeah, I think because of the following, and obviously he's with Sky, he's just signed with Anthony Joshua. People think he's just gonna sort of unofficially buy him the title. But I know it's not like we've been offered the fight last minute. We've been calling for this fight since like March, so we know we can beat him. It's and we've got the fight we wanted. It's not the fight he wanted. So I don't get where the bookies are coming from, but it's less pressure on my back. I'm a massive underdog. When it gets tough in the ring, he's going to be thinking, this isn't supposed to be happening. This is supposed to be my breakout fight. And I'll be reminding of that when I'm in there. And I know if I get in there and box to my ability, I think it's as hard or as easy as I want to make it.
I believe yourself and Vidal were coming through the amateurs at a fairly similar time. Were you keeping an eye on his progress then, and maybe something like this would be down in the pipeline in a few years' time?
Not really. No, he wasn't. He wasn't really one of the names that we, as an amateur at the time, you know, thinking that we could box. I think he's a little bit younger than me. So as I was going in through the seniors stuff, he was probably still a youth. I think he's 2 years younger. And the year I think he went in the year, his first senior year, he got to the semi-finals in the ABAs, and I got to the semi-finals in the ABAs. You know, there was a good bunch of us really who were, you know, fighting each other at the time. I had, you know, had a lot of good wins in my last senior career. You know, won the North title belt as well. And got, you know, we obviously both got to the semi-finals in the ABAs. He had a good youth career. I'll give him that. But in terms of senior, you know, we were basically on level playing fields.
Hmm. Well, since then, you've taken different routes. I think it would be fair to say you very much pursued the boxing, and you've had your success on the small hall shows, as you mentioned earlier. Vidal's been more of a social media star. We know he trained KSI as well. What have you made of the route that he's taken compared to yours?
I wouldn't say obviously it's different. He took time away to train KSI, and you know what? Good on him. He's probably earned a lot of good money doing it. I would never, you know, badmouth that, or you know, he's done well for himself. But I just hope he's been training for this fight, and he's not been doing too many interviews with KSI, or you know, my mind is focused on the fight. How much of the fight is he focused on, or what's he focused on putting videos out on YouTube? So you know, we both come from different things. You know, I've struggled in the past, you know, financially. So you know, I've got all this spurring me on when you know, he probably hasn't got that. Obviously he's got skill, and I'm not saying that, but you know, sometimes when you've got money sitting there, you've got the back on yourself. Are you going to put in as much hard work as someone who's coming up through the ranks? You know, it's not like I've had an easy route. You know, I think my third or fourth pro fight, I took on Ken Kapanen. When I beat him, he went on and stopped an undefeated fighter. I beat Andrew Sawia. So on like my fourth or fifth fight, the fight before, he knocked out a 12-0 kid. And then obviously I took on Steve Collins Jr. as well. So, you know, my route hasn't been easy. And I think, you know, people think, oh, he doesn't have power, he won't have power. You don't stop people in the amateurs if you don't have power. You know, I've said it quite a few times in previous interviews, or I've said it to other people. The small hall route, you don't see as much knockouts as you do on the telly. And I think that's because, you know, the fighters we go up against, the journeymen or the gatekeepers, they're getting paid a lot more money to fight on a Sky show or a Matchroom show than getting paid 1,500 to fight me. You know, they've got a fight booked in the week after, and they've got another fight the week after that. They can't afford to get stopped. You know, you've seen in previous fights with me. I've one fella I really, you know, was really hating. I was thinking, why aren't you going down here? But you know, they have fights booked in for the week after. They're going to do everything they can not to go down. Whereas, you know, they're getting paid a lot more on the Sky show, so they probably think I can go down here and sit on my ass for a few weeks. And you know what, I would as well. But yeah, I think that's just the way it is. You know, people underestimate the small hall fighters. And really, you know, I'm going in there to prove, you know, that you can do it. You can do it. Coming from the small hall shows, you don't have to just be, you know, coming through like the big route of getting straight onto the big shows. You know, we do it the hard way. So I'm looking forward to getting in there and showing, you know, the hard route that we've been through, and we can do it.
As part of your preparation, you've been sparring Mikhail Lawal as well, who's obviously operating at a very high level and is known, as say, for his explosive power, especially at British level. How has that been for yourself, and just gives a little insight into how the sparring's gone?
Yeah, it was brilliant, really. You know, we got the phone call, they asked for us down. So, you know, we said, go ahead, we'll go down, we'll take the time out, and you know, what better to see where you're at. And we've done some great rounds together. But since I turned pro, you know, I sparred Matty Askin, was in the camp for him with a Coley. I've been in camps with Hughie Fury. So I've always sort of been around like the top British level since I turned pro. So I've had the rounds and I've gained the experience from some of these guys who were a lot more experienced than me at the time. So I feel like it's all come together at the right time for me now, and then it's just about showing my experience on the night.
How much can you learn from those experiences of being in the ring with those world level operators? You mentioned names like Lawrence Coley and Hughie Fury. They're top level guys. How much can you learn from them?
I've not sparred Lawrence. It was Matty Askin for the Lawrence. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I think it was like 2-0, 3-0 at the time. So really, me and my coach just said, you know, we've got to put on a good year of sparring, really going around and sparring some of these top lads. And you know, you learn all the tricks of the trade. You see where you're at. You know, I've never really come up short against them in sparring. It's always been competitive spars. And you know, when you're getting asked back for sparring camps, you know, you must be doing something good. But you know, it's sort of taught us like how they train as well for the later rounds. You know, we were coming in fighting 4-rounders, but seeing how they were training and having sparring partners in and doing X amount of rounds, you know, it sort of gave us a new outlook on how to train, because you know, my coach turned over with me, my amateur coach, so we were both new to the game. So as well as I was learning, he was also learning as well.
You talked about Mikel Lawal earlier, and that's well, and he's got a big fight of his own against Isaac Chamberlain on October the 21st. A real 50-50 fight, and I think a fight that's really grabbed the attention of the British public. How do you see that one going?
It's a tough one, really. I think Isaac's obviously, he is a good boxer, but Mikel has got that you know, the big punch. He's a powerful lad. Yeah, he you know, I think I'd probably sway towards Mikel. I think if Chamberlain stands there with him, it could be a long night. But yeah, do you know what? It is a 50-50 fight, and I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm sort of on the fence a little bit, but if I have to choose one, I'd probably say Mikel, yeah.
And on the other side of London this weekend, you've got Jai Opetaia and Jordan Thompson. Thompson really going from a British European level fighter right up to world level. He carries a huge amount of power, but do you think he has the power to knock out and beat Jai Opetaia?
Not sure. I think it might have been a couple of fights too early. But again, you know, if you've got the power, you can do it against anyone. To be honest, I've not seen much of the other guy anyway. So I can't really give an opinion on it, to be honest.
The final fight I want to get your opinion on is Chris Billam-Smith and Lawrence Coley. We all saw what happened in the first fight. It now doesn't seem, although the rematch between the two is going to happen. Is that something you would like to see? And if so, how do you think a rematch between them would go?
Not sure if it needs to happen again. Obviously, if there's a rematch clause, obviously he was the champion, he deserves to have his rematch. But I think, yeah, I just think the same outcome really. I think Chris has got, you know, he's got good power and he throws a lot of punches, the output. I think Coley might be too big now at the weight. Maybe he should move up. But you know, yeah, if they boxed again, I'd probably say Chris. Yeah, I said Chris last time as well, so I think yeah, I'd stick with him.
I've asked you for a prediction on that. Now, the prediction for yourself: what's going to happen? Nathan Quarless versus Vidal Riley at the weekend.
I'm not sure. Points, or I think I might be able to get him out of there late on. I think my engine's going to be too good for him, and we've got a few game plans there that we can you know we can use. So yeah, I think think late stoppage or points I'm going for.
Good man. Really appreciate your time, Nathan, and good luck at the weekend.
Nice one. Thank you very much.